Hey internet, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a walkthrough slash review of this new, well I guess it's not that new, this new content journal that I picked up a while back. I've only just started using it. I've used it for, well I tried using it for about a month, but you're gonna see that I actually ended up just giving up because it was just, so I guess the short of it is that I don't really recommend this personally. I can see how it is useful for some people, but yeah, if you only came here to see is this something that's useful, not for me, not for me. All right, so let's do a flip through and I'll show you guys what I filled in, what I've done, why, all that sort of stuff. So essentially this journal is designed for those of us who do content creation, which is me. If you're watching this channel, then I do content creation. I create content on YouTube, I do Instagram, TikTok, and I guess a little bit of Pinterest. I don't know whether you consider Etsy as social media. It's not really content, it's my e-commerce business, so it's not really content creation in that sense, but those are the platforms I tend to touch on when I'm doing online work in the planner space, and this is what I used it for, specifically my planner related work online. So there we go. Alright, so that's the first page, and okay, right off the bat, one of the things I didn't like about this, and it's probably one of the biggest reasons why I didn't keep using it, is I just don't like how the binding of this book is. So I think it's like glue binding or something here, so it doesn't open flat. You kind of have to force this down, and I had to constantly, it's almost like you're trying to break the spine, and so it always flips up. It's very uncomfortable to write here because there's this like dip that happens here at the start, and when you get to the end of the book you have that dip that happens on the other end as well. That's pretty typical of most soft covers, but for me, I use the Hobonichi planners, I use Archer and Olive journals, so I use stuff that generally opens flat really easily, and they're pretty, like, I don't know, the Archer and Olive journals are good because their covers are hard, so you don't get that like curved dip happening like here. And the Hobonichi planners, they're really thin, very malleable, and so easy to write on. And so for me that's important. If I don't use those, then I like using spiral planners or spiral notebooks because you can just have it flat all the time, you just flip it. So I will say that's probably like a personal bias of mine, and that might be why I'm not as keen on this particular book, because it does make it hard for me to write. So in this book you have an annual calendar, and then you have kind of like goal setting for content, scheduling, reporting, newsletters. Some of the stuff is not relevant for me, daily trackers, monthly planners, and then content idea, blah blah blah. So this is the annual tracker, so you can see that I did try planning this for July, and it kind of works. I'll be honest, this particular view, I have it in my Google Calendar, so I do quite a bit of digital planning, which I don't really feature online. I just do it more because it's portable, easy. I use it a lot for my day job, actually exclusively for my day job. I don't actually have paper planners anymore for my day job for now. I might go back to it, but I find it easier in Google Calendar because it's not like one day is one type of content. There are some days where I'll post two different things. So let me explain. I have a keys set up here. So I have a Beautiful Fable YouTube, which is the channel you're watching now, a Beautiful Fable Instagram. I also have TikTok, but I don't really, I guess I kind of match those together because every time I post a reel on Instagram, it will go on TikTok as well. I have my Happy Cloud Ink Etsy shop. So I have Fables and Fashion YouTube. Okay, now I'm realizing this isn't just for planner purposes, this is for my beauty channel and my vlog channel, Tell Me Your Fable YouTube. So I have 3 YouTube channels here, an Etsy sticker shop, and an Instagram. I do have Instagram for Happy Clouding and Fables and Fashion, but I didn't have enough key space here, so I ended up just not bothering with it. Plus, I don't post on them as regular as I do my Beautiful Fable Instagram account. So you can see here I have some green, which is when my Beautiful Fable videos come out, but then you see here it's like a dual color because the yellow is when I post on Instagram, and I post on Instagram for Beautiful Fable pretty often, as you can see, and so it does cross over with the days that I either, like the pink is a sticker release day, or on the days I post videos as well. So I don't quite like this sort of half color. I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not clear to me exactly what was going on. I think maybe for Google Calendar the reason I like it is because not only are each of the entries separate, If you look at Google Calendar, you can have like YouTube entry and then an Instagram entry, and they sit independent of each other, not kind of crossing over, plus there's text on it, so you know exactly what it is. So that's probably my first issue with it. So this is the framework page, and I actually quite like this page. It did make me really think about like my purpose and what I was doing with my content, and I think it actually is worth everyone doing something like this if you want to take your content creation up to the next level. So I had to set some goals, what I'm trying to achieve with my content, which is like connecting with like-minded people, showcasing creative ways to plan, and promoting the sticker shop. These are all kind of goals that I want to achieve with my social media. And then really thinking about your audience, which is like, everyone says this, especially if you're trying to start a business. Everyone says you need to really focus on who your audience is and cater to them. And I honestly never really think of that, even though I know that that is a really important thing to focus on. So my audience it's people who are looking for inspiration to plan and be creative, but they're also looking for entertainment. I think I could spend a little bit more time fine-tuning that. Like, this made me really think I need to like hone into the demographic, the age group, the like just the person overall. That's something I want to start doing more of. This part really talks about the personality that your social media account's almost like it's a person in itself. I never really thought of it that way, because for me, especially a beautiful Fable, even Fables in fashion, like, I'm not trying to portray a certain personality. It's just me. So I just said it's my own personality that comes through, hopefully, in pretty much every endeavor I do online. I don't know, I'm just not very never really thought of portraying a certain personality, but maybe it's something I should consider, especially maybe for more business-centric social media accounts. Maybe that makes more sense. And then it just talks about which channels you are posting on. So here is this page about themes. I don't really have themes, so I didn't fill this out. You might have different types of themes to balance the content. So I didn't even really think about this, my crafty life behind the scenes videos, and then maybe more professional videos. To me, it all kind of blends together. I don't really see them as themes, so I didn't fill that part out. And you're going to see I didn't really fill out much of the rest because I just didn't see the point. I felt like there was a lot of repetition going on for me. So my weekly schedule. The thing is, no 2 weeks really look alike. I post on different days. I guess the only day I try to be really consistent about is the day I upload on this channel. I try to keep it always on the Saturday Australian time, which is like Friday for like North America. But besides that, my Instagram is usually different. My shop is on Fridays as well. So it's like only a couple make sense, and I really didn't love how they merged weekends together, because for me, especially because I have a day job, a lot of the good stuff that I used to do, like a lot of the focus time I had, was on Saturday and Sunday. So it's like always the day I needed the most time, and yet most planners kind of merge them in as if it's like just a blend, like this is your off weekend. But I'm like, no. Maybe that would make sense if I use this for my day job, but because I use this for stuff that I do outside of work, the time outside of work is the time I need the most space, if that makes sense. And then we have reporting, so it's about the metrics and all that. I didn't really need this, and maybe it's bad on me. I don't really look at metrics when it comes to my social media. Like, I can glance at who my following count is and like general number of likes, but I don't really focus on that. I don't open the analytics tab very often that is existing on Instagram. Occasionally I'll look at it if I see like a spike just out of interest, but I'm not good at tracking it. And I think I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I should be tracking it, because I don't really pay attention to my subscribers on YouTube or anything. I just create content because I want to create content because it's fun. And I think that if I focus too much on metrics, so my day job is all about metrics and reporting. But for me, that's easy to do because that's through, like, I manage teams, so that makes sense. But I'm also not emotionally connected to the work. Whereas for my social media, I am emotionally connected to the work. And I think trying to focus too much on the metrics might actually kill the love that I have for it personally. So here is newsletter. I don't do newsletters. Again, it's probably something I should be doing more. Something when I read up on like advice on how to say grow the sticker shop, this is something that comes up quite often, but I don't do it. Daily trackers. This one didn't really make sense to me. I wasn't quite sure. Like, you've got all the months here, but then you've got the months, the days of the months here, and then you have different tables. So I wish they had examples. Like there was a planner that I reviewed earlier this year that gave you like actual tangible examples as to how you would use it. I think that would have been really nice. Okay, now we come to the monthly planner, and this part I did try doing, and then I just kind of gave up because it was just felt repetitive to me. And also I have a big gripe here. So July, this was all the different content I was uploading, but it doesn't make it very clear. Like for me, it's kind of hard to know which one was a YouTube video, which one was Instagram, which one was on Etsy. So I just kind of put the topics down, and in the end, it didn't work. One day, if you guys are interested, let me know. I can show you how I set up my Google Calendar to help me content plan, because I think that is the thing that I really love the most, especially because it's digital, you can move things around easily. So when timelines change, or like I get a really busy day so I can't post that day, I can easily move stuff around, and it's not like crossing out a bunch of stuff on a planner. So the other thing I really don't like about this is that they have a monthly calendar here, but as you can see, there's only 4 rows, and often months have at least 5 rows, sometimes 6. So as I was writing, I didn't realize that has happening, and then I ended it on the 23rd, and I thought, what? Maybe I'm using this wrong, but this does not cover the whole month. So already off the back, that made it very difficult. And then we have some free page here. See, this is what I mean, like this bulging here, this makes it really hard to write. I'm finding it really difficult to write on here because this dip that goes down, it's even more steep, and my wrist just doesn't sit well on the paper. So sorry, I don't mean to like bash the planner the whole video, but I'm just being honest. This is how I feel. So this is some bullet journal paper, and then you can see you can just go from month to month. So this is the monthly section. Let me show you some of the other sections. And then after that, you've got content. Oh my gosh. I wish that they just, I don't want to break the binding, but it's just, can you see what's happening here? It just does not fold down very well. Content ideas, where it's just like any ideas that come about. I'm just going to hold it like this to be a bit easier. And then you've got just content drafting ideas here. And then the last section is just free pages. And that is pretty much the entire planner. So glad I gave this a shot. I was very curious to know what it would be like. Definitely is not something that's going to work for me. I think inherently I just wish that maybe this was spiral, or if they had a threaded binder instead of a glued binder, or however they've bounded this. It just doesn't work very well for me. But overall, I hope you guys found it useful. If you guys are into content planning, maybe you would find this useful. It is worth taking a look on the website. I will link it down below. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. This is Celina reporting from my room. Back to you, internet.